So you're watching Hit the Highway with Sandhya Ravishankar, and this is part of our series where we're doing ground reports on the Karnataka elections. So I'm now back in Bangalore, and I've not been able to shoot very much in Bagalkot due to a lack of time, but I can assure you I've spoken to a whole bunch of people, and here are the findings from the various constituencies in Bagalkot district. Let's start with Bagalkot Assembly constituency itself. Now, it's very unclear here. It's a confused field at the moment. The sitting MLA is not in very good books at the moment. He is, the locals there say that roads have not been laid. The MLA has not visited the constituency, and also the corruption narrative is pretty strong in this assembly constituency. The corruption narrative of 40% Sarkara that the Congress has been pushing for quite some time. This assembly constituency, it is sticking a little bit compared to the other constituencies that we have been. Of course, this continues to be a very, very local, a very, very micro election. So the candidates are going to matter. Now, the name that we heard for the Congress candidate is ex-MLA H.Y. Miti. He is a Kuruba, and there are a large number of Kurubas in this constituency as well. But as for the BJP, there's some infighting, there's some, factionism that's going on. So they're not in a particularly advantageous situation at present. So we're going to have to wait and see how this pans out for all of these parties. Even with H.Y. Meti, there is not a very sort of spontaneous response to his name. So we're going to have to wait and see who the candidates are before we are able to figure out what people in Bagalkot are thinking. Constituency number 2, Hungund. Now, Hungund, there are a whole bunch of problems, lack of hospital, lack of development, bad roads, really bad roads. But the favorite here appears to be an independent candidate, and his name is Navali Hiremat, and he's a Jangama Lingayat, and even the Panchamshali Lingayats and Veerashaiva Lingayats, Kurubas. I spoke to a whole lot of people over there, and all of them are, talking only about Navali Hiremat. He is a social worker, and he runs a bunch of educational institutions there as well. So Navali Hiremat is a person to watch, an independent candidate. Of course, for the Congress, there is the famous candidate Vijayanand Kashapnavar, but it's his hawa is not very prominent at the moment in that area. So we are watching Navali Hiremat, independent candidate in Hungund Assembly constituency. Now let's move on to Terdal. Now Terdal is a very interesting constituency. It's pretty well developed. A lot of schemes have been implemented. The roads are pretty good over there. And the MLA is BJP's Sidhu Savdi. And every single person I met, like without exception, they said Sidhu Savdi is a fantastic MLA and they're going to vote him back. So Sidhu Savdi for Terdal, and the Congress candidate is likely to be Umashri, who is also a known face, but there is a lot of goodwill for Sidhu Savdi here at Terdal. Now moving on to Jamkhandi. Jamkhandi is again pretty confused. Anand Nyamagowda is the sitting Congress MLA. He does have a good name among his constituents, so that's something that we need to look out for. As for the BJP, 2 names are being bandied about, Shrikant Kulkarni and Jagadish Gudugunti, I'm sorry. So we are not very sure who's going to get the ticket, but as of now, the Congress has a slight advantage as far as Jamkhandi is concerned. Now, Mudhol, of course, everybody knows the famous Mudhol Hounds, and this is their home. And in Mudhol, sitting BJP MLA as well as Minister Govind Karjul, he is the hot favorite in this particular seat. So there's not really much to say about any other candidate. The JDS has no presence there, I was told, and the Congress is likely to put up a candidate called Satish Bandivaddar. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name incorrectly. Satish Bandivaddar is likely to be the Congress candidate here, but Govind Karjol appears to have the road paved to victory for him over here. Very interesting constituency next, Bilagi. Now, Bilagi is the sitting MLA is BJP's Murugesh Nirani. Nirani, of course, as we know, is also the Industries Minister of Karnataka. What we did here in Bilagi is a lot of dissatisfaction against Murugesh Nirani. They say that the MLA slash minister has not really visited, not much development work has been done, roads have not been laid, etc. And also the fact that he is not local. So people here are talking about the Congress candidates. There are two Congress candidates whose names are doing the round. One is S.R. Patil and the other is J.T. Patil. Now, both of these candidates appear to be strong candidates here in Bilagi, and both of them are local. So, if one of these two comes, it will be a tough fight for Nirani. But as we know, Nirani also owns owns some sugarcane factories, and a lot of the people there work for him. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But as of now, there's not a very good name for Mr. Nirani. Now, the last constituency in this district is Badami. The famous Badami sitting MLA is Siddaramaiah. We all know he is not going to contest from there, but he has announced that he will contest from Kolar. Though there are still rumors doing the rounds that he's likely to shift back to Varuna, because Kolar also appears to be a very tough seat for him at present. Now, Siddaramaiah is of course gone, so he's definitely not going to be the candidate in Badami. People here are very angry with the sitting MLA Siddaramaiah. They say he has not visited, he has not done anything for the district, for the constituency, I'm sorry. And he has, basically they say that it's a good thing he has left. And they're very clear that they want local candidates this time. They don't want parachuted candidates from some other part of the state who is not available to them. So people here across the board, across caste equations, across the board, all of them are talking about local candidates, and there are three names that are doing the rounds. For the Congress, we were told an ex-minister, an ex-MLA of the Congress, B.B. Chimanakatte, is likely to be the candidate there. He has a good name, but people also say that he did not do any work the last time he was elected as an MLA. Now, for the BJP, there is Mahantesh Mamadapur. He appears to be a young Banajiga candidate, and locals here appear to be quite pleased with the fact that he's young. So we have to wait and see how he campaigns and how his campaign takes off. The JDS is the dark horse here, and there is one Hanumant Mavin Maradu, who is a Panchamshali Lingayat, and he is said to be the likely candidate for the JDS here. And so basically what the residents of that area were saying was that JDS will take 25% of the votes, and the rest of the 75% of the votes will be equally divided between the Congress and the BJP. So we're going to have to wait and see how this pans out as well. But there is a lot more positive vibe, or hawa as we call it, for both the BJP and the JDS candidate as compared to the Congress's candidate. So again, another constituency up in the air. We are going to have to wait and see what actually happens on the ground. So this is Sandhya Ravishankar for The Lead, and I've just given you all of the findings that we have found from Bagalkot district.